Previously on Oxventure Presents Blades in the Dark, Edvard and Zillah applied for jobs at Astor Innovations headquarters. What? Edvard working for his hated rival Amadeus Astor? Fear not, viewer, 'tis merely a ruse to infiltrate Astor's stronghold and steal the blueprints to the Dimmer Sisters' vault door. Zilla got busted for cheating in the first round of tests and was taken away by security. But Edvard's intervention won him a place in round 2 of the interview, as well as an unexpected audience with none other than Amadeus Astor himself.
Okay, so Andy, you have just found out that you will shortly be meeting with none other than Amadeus Astor, but before we head to that meeting, why don't we check in with Zilla? Right, Zilla, you've been let off by security for the heinous act of cheating. You are led by the security guard through several doors and corridors, then up some stairs, then down another long corridor. Basically, you are led further and further into the heart of the building, and you quickly start to lose your bearings. But eventually, you are brought to rest in.
Or am I?
Or are you?
When we're on the stairwell, a stairwell, ascending deeper and deeper into the heart of the Astor operation, I extract the wrench from the workbench in the invention room that I had trousered, and I wang him around the head with it.
Okay, cool. All right, let's make me a roll for this. I'm going to say this is with limited effect, just because I imagine the building will be busy.
We're on a stairwell. I imagined a back stairwell because they wouldn't want me, anywhere public.
Okay.
Right? I feel like I'm being sort of shuffled away, low key, low profile.
Like when you get arrested at Disneyland.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Like, when you get arrested at Disneyland.
You all, something good, a good relatable example there.
Yeah. When they want to take you out through the non-public way, through they don't want
through
them there like marble
doors.
Staircases. Yeah, exactly. I assumed it would be a back staircase of some.
Okay, so we're back on the back staircase. He's sort of got you still by one arm, but with the other you're going to reach in. Yeah.
Just wriggling in an unpredictable, annoying way.
Yeah, and then wham,
I whip out the wrench,
the old wrench to the temple. Cool, okay, well, roll me for that.
Roll you for that, alright, well this is, where are we going? This is a skirmish, yeah. I'm not trying to, beat him to death with a wrench.
Cool.
At this point. Alright, that's a 6.
Whoa. A 6, okay, brilliant.
Heck yeah.
Alright, so what's your intention? Knock him out?
Yeah, absolutely. Just the sweet spot. Just, ideally, not going to do any lasting damage. I don't want to, gouge an eye. I aim for, a bit of the temple. Yeah,
no worries.
You want to get the rotation of the skull so that you get the knockout effect without causing any scarification or...
It really is the sweet spot. You clong like that, and he emits a quiet gurgling noise and just sinks to his knees and then falls flat on his face. And
I catch you before he falls on his nose and breaks it. So
all right.
Just prop him up against the wall.
Always such polite takedowns.
Polite violence.
Exactly.
That's what I like about you, Zilla. Okay, right. Well, let's stay with you for a moment then. So you're currently on the stairwell, crouched over the unconscious form.
Security guard.
You can't see anyone, but there are you passed a whole bunch of people coming up and down these stairs. They are in constant use.
Okay. I look for a closet, a utility closet, perhaps, or
there's no utility closet, but there is like a doorway out into the corridor of this floor that you're on.
Okay, I stick my head out of the door.
Okay.
And just look around for a likely looking bathroom, or what do we got?
You can see on it's. You know what? It actually looks like the drawing of that you were given by Westdoor. But
there must be a sign. What floor are we on? In the stairwell, there'd be a sign that's like, "Hey, welcome to floor number."
There would be a sign. You are on floor number. Well, it depends if you're counting the American or the British way. But 1, 2, 3. You're on the 4th floor.
Okay.
And it's not labelled 4th floor. It's labelled defence. And,
okay.
It's got the same layout.
Yep.
But
Well,
yeah.
defence is where we want to be, so that is
Actually,
sweet.
security's where you want to be, which is
What?
Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
That's on the 3rd floor, right?
5th floor.
Fifth floor.
Right.
Okay, we need to go one up. Well, I look. I peek into the corridor of the defence wing.
Yep.
Floor?
It looks empty.
It looks empty. Is there a bathroom?
I'll tell you what. All the doors are unmarked. This is the defence bit, after all.
Well, that's really inconvenient when you've got a meeting and you walk into the toilets and vice versa. So
Can you not just go after we've done the heist?
Oh.
Hold it in, Zilla.
All right, fine. I drag the security guard by his shoulders, by his collar, the back of his collar, and I go from door to door, pushing the door open,
Okay.
hoping for a bathroom.
Let's stop at the first door.
Are there glass panels in the door?
No.
Keyholes?
Keyholes?
No, actually, no, I don't think so.
All right, well, I'm going to take a guess. Here you go, an educated guess. We've got the map from Wester, right? Which is of the floor above us.
Yeah.
And if I were designing a building like this, which, had different floors for different departments, I would have basically mirrored the layout on every level. So I think about that map and where the bathrooms were on that map.
Smart.
And imagine the bathrooms would be in the same position on the lower floor.
Very good.
I go to that door.
Okay, you sort of grit your teeth and push open this door, and it does indeed swing into a bathroom. It's a series of stalls, cubicles.
Yes. Perfect.
You can hear, well, what are you doing in here?
I manhandle the dude onto a toilet. I say, sorry, sir, and dust down his lapels, and then I jam the door closed. I lock the door and then vault over the stall.
Okay, let's cover that all that off with one roll.
Okay.
I don't want to be rolling multiple times. But...
Well,
Finesse?
what is...
Maybe?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not very finessey. But, yeah, all right.
Push yourself?
Ooh, I'm actually already quite stressed. I'm a very stressed person.
How many stress you got?
I'm a stress mess. I've got 6 stress from last time, so...
Pretty high.
And didn't we just recently realise I have way fewer stress slots than
Yeah,
than
9
we
is
originally thought.
the high cap.
Yeah. No, I'm not gonna risk it all on whether or not I can get this guy onto a toilet or not. So let's give it a go. I'm just gonna roll 2 and hope for the best.
Okay.
It's a 4.
A 4. Okay.
Oh wait, no, it's a 3 because it's the lower, isn't it? The lower of the 2. Okay.
Yes.
So it's a 3.
Okay. Right. You do get him into the bathroom. You do dust him off. You do vault over the cubicle door.
Yeah, I do.
Just in time to see someone coming out of another cubicle.
All right, I land like Black Widow in the toilet stall.
And actually, from inside the cubicle that you just left, you can hear a sort of muffled. The guard is coming too.
All right, I take the light bulb out of my pocket and I smash it on whoever it is.
Okay.
So
It is a
remarkable intervention.
The incandescent light bulb. And
Cool.
I don't have another
Right.
one.
Make me a roll. I think you better roll me for this as well.
Yeah. This is much more of a panic roll because really it's not very nice to smash someone with a light bulb, is it? That's quite unpleasant. So, but it is still a skirmish. It's still a fighting move. So, there's 2 1s. Would you believe?
2 1s. Okay. You don't. Obviously, you don't recognise who. Yeah, you
Bad
don't
day.
recognise who this person is, but
Yeah.
it is a dude. He is big and brawny, and you recognise belatedly that he's actually wearing the same uniform as the guard who you just
Yeah.
knocked
Did
out
the
and
thing.
is slowly coming
That
to.
business, yeah.
You smash the light bulb on his head. It's awesome.
Should have pushed myself.
It's
Okay.
awesome.
Yeah.
And it smashes on his head, and he doesn't even react. But what he does do is spin you around and twist you into a half Nelson, Zilla.
Oh God.
In fact, take. What's your harm situation?
My harm sitch, let me tell you.
Yeah.
So I had 1 level 2 harm last
Okay.
time around.
Yeah.
And I had 2 out of 4 segments of the healing clock done. But I guess that resets now, right?
It resets if you're about to take harm. But here's what I'm thinking. What we should have done, and what I forgot to do, was to give you one downtime activity because you weren't in the last adventure.
I wasn't, so I would have healed a little bit.
Yeah, we've already kind of written into canon how much stress you have. Sorry, I'm slightly retconning this, which isn't very professional. But so you weren't doing that. Let's say you used it for healing, shall we?
Yes.
And you took that level 2 down to level 1.
And don't forget, I already have one. I permanently have one of my healing clock segments filled out because I am vigorous.
Okay,
it is a cutter special ability,
so
as you all know.
Assuming that level 2 harm, what level 2 harm was it? Was it pile?
It was getting pile driven.
Pile driven. Okay.
Yeah.
That's now down
in
to
that
level.
fighting contest.
So that's now down to level 1, and that's your only level 1 harm, right? Okay,
yes.
cool. Well, you can now add to that level 1 harm twisted shoulder. It's minor, but
okay. So
Ow.
So does that mean I have 2 level 1 harms?
Yes. Having
Ow.
secured you in this grip, the other guard is now stumbling out of the.
No, I locked the door. I locked the door.
Oh, you did lock the door. All right, he's banging on the door and going, "I'm locked in," and then the other guard is.
Yeah, and I'm sure he's much too confused and dazed to figure out how to unlock a bathroom stall.
Maybe.
All right, is it my go now?
Let's say.
I can't wait to get deeper into this mess.
Yeah, let's not jump to Edvard just yet. Yeah, let's keep going. All right, I'm going to say though that he has let the other guard out because that feels within the.
Wait, am I in a half Nelson or am I not in a half Nelson?
You're in a half Nelson.
All right, I scorpion kick him over there.
Okay, cool.
I don't even know if that makes anatomical sense in this. But I scorpion kick him over there.
You can reverse that into a wrist lock pretty easily.
No, scorpion kick it is.
Scorpion kick.
Yeah.
Like Trinity.
Yeah. Okay.
Sure.
Remind me how scorpion kick looks, Zilla.
Okay, it looks rad. It's where you kick up. I think you have to be facing someone to scorpion kick them, don't you? Yeah.
Well, describe what you want to do, then we'll roll for it.
You're doing a bicycle kick, like
Kick.
backwards. Are you running up the wall to land behind him?
Yeah. That's it. I run up the wall and land behind, which is not exactly. That's not what I meant, but it is now.
Okay.
I run up the wall, flip over his head.
Okay.
And and then kick him right between the legs.
Go for it. This is going to have to be a 6.
That's my understanding of a scorpion.
This is going to have to be a 6, and that other dude is going to try and break out of the.
Sure, I bet he is. Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, then this is a skirmish roll.
This is great.
Okay. Well, I'd like to push myself now because I'm really in it now. This is a hot mess.
Sure.
Okay. All right. So, launch myself up the wall, kick flip off,
Yeah.
Land behind him.
Yeah.
And then break a sink with his face. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's the next
Turn
stage.
this into Splinter Cell.
This is going to have to be
so
good.
if I push myself, what do I get?
1 extra dice and 2 stress.
1 extra dice and 2 stress, but that takes me to 8 stress, which is a lot of stress.
That's a lot of stress, yeah.
All right, fine, I'll take it. I've got a 5.
Okay.
A 5.
Okay.
Is my best, yeah.
Cool. 5 is the best. Right. Yes, the bicycle kick goes off without a hitch, and
all right. Let me make a note. 8 stress.
8 stress.
Carry on.
Yeah. This is more like a panic reaction for you, Zilla. But what
My
a
actual panic
reaction!
reaction is to do a flip off the wall.
Yeah. When startled, you will run up a wall and do a flip. Yeah. Yeah, you're up. The guard doesn't know what's happening, and is it a head into the sink situation?
Yeah, it's a knee and then a head on the sink, on the ceramic, smashing the ceramic everywhere. The pipe starts like spraying water in all directions. Yeah.
There's spraying, the bathroom is flooding. You stand there panting furiously when all of a sudden out of the cubicle door explodes open.
Yep.
Just lunges.
The first dude.
Tiger-like to grab you around the waist. And at this point, why don't we jump to Edvard? Who is having a much more chill time.
I'm going to be looking up a scorpion kick.
Okay, Edvard. Peggy leads you. You don't. As far as you can tell, you're sticking on the first floor, but you are led through the same door that Zilla was initially taken from, and through to a very plush office. In fact, this is Peggy's office. There's a very well upholstered seat on either side, and she gestures to it and says, "Please, Mr. Gorey, please have a seat. We'll begin with the interview, and hopefully Mr. Astor will be able to join us before very long."
Yeah, can't wait to meet him. I say, I'm internally freaking out because I'm certain that Astor will recognise me, his greatest professional rival. So, just trying to keep it together.
But you're keeping it calm. Okay, so yeah, you sit down, and she says, "Now, Mr. Gory, I must say, we were so impressed by your, what did you call it again? The Lumiere.
The Lumiere magic lanthorn.
Magic lanthorn. Yes. There was.
Get it in my swamp. It was good, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yes, it was very funny.
Lovely old
yes.
folktale.
I don't think I could ever get tired of it. That's what's so wonderful about it.
Yeah.
And well, congratulations on making it through to the second phase. Don't worry,
Happy to be here.
No more practical examinations here.
Okay.
We just want to know a little bit about you. So let's begin with question 1. When did you first realise, Mr. Gory, that you loved Astor Interventions?
Oh, what wonderful interventions they are. You know, I think it was the first time I ever used an Astor lock to secure. I like to bicycle around the city, and I remember locking my bicycle to the railings outside of my college, and I thought to myself, that is a wonderful lock, and not a stupid lock that a baby could have made. Just appreciating its wonderful design, because the previous locks I'd used had been stupid locks that a baby could have made. But this one, I remember thinking it was particularly fine in its composition, and that's when I thought, there's something about this Astor. His interventions, they're very original, not stolen from anyone. That's what I like most about them, is their originality and the way that he has
originality.
Yes.
We couldn't have put it better
Yes.
ourselves, Mr. Gory. Originality is one of the 3 core pillars here that we like to say.
How does he come up with all these ideas? I often wonder.
Well, you may well get the chance to ask him. But next question while we wait. What, in your opinion, Mr. Gory, makes Astor Interventions HQ a special place to work?
You know, I think it's the culture. I think it's the people. And you know, a lot of people will say to you, "Oh, it's the interventions," and there's some truth in that. But I think what Astor has done here that's truly remarkable is he's created a community, and people have come together, rallied around this wonderful man, and they just want to work hard to really bring out his vision. And I'm sorry I'm getting emotional, but it just means a lot to me.
Please do not worry, Mr. Gory. She pushes a box of tissues, kind of slides a couple of box of tissues across the table to you, and says, she's looking very pleased, by the way. She's got kind of like a rosy glow in her cheeks, and she's kind of making some notes of, you know, praising your answers. She says, now, next, Mr. Gory, can I ask, what would you say is your biggest flaw?
If I were to say what my biggest flaw is, I think it's that I'm too much of a perfectionist. You know, I really like to see a project through until it's done. And oftentimes, people ask you to get something out before it's ready, don't they? Just so it can hit the market and be ready to go. But I feel like the Astor brand is so synonymous with quality and originality and not being stolen from other inventors, that I feel like to not put out the very highest quality product possible would be doing a disservice to the Astor name. So if anything, I think that I just care too much.
As you finish that sentence, Edvard, the door behind you bangs open, and as you spin round, you see a medium-height fellow in an impeccable purple suit with slicked back white hair and a long, starched handlebar tash of the same ice-white colour. Walk in, he's looking at a piece of paper and says, "Now, Gory, this lanthorn that you describe," and he looks up and goes, "Edvard Lumiere?"
No, Cornelius Gory.
Edvard. Edvard. Well.
Perhaps you're thinking of my cousin Edvard.
Edvard. How pleasant to see you. How long has it been?
This is rather embarrassing. Rather thought I wouldn't run into you. I didn't think you concerned yourself with the day-to-day business anymore. Thought you were above all that.
I ordinarily wouldn't, but, well, Peggy puts unusually interesting designs from the jobs fair across my desk, and, well, this lanthorn rather caught my eye. It makes sense now that I see it, that it was yours. You always did have a flair for originality.
So I suppose we'll see the Astor magic lanthorn hitting the market in a few months?
Maybe we will. Maybe we will. Mr. Lumiere, Edvard. We're friends, aren't we? I can call you Edvard.
Please do. I'd be delighted.
Excuse me, Peggy, could you give us the room? Peggy, shuffles out. Crab walks out awkwardly. And he sits down in her chair. He presses his fingers together and... I must say, Edvard, I'm delighted to see you.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. Probably run out of invention ideas, haven't you? Looking for some new things to steal.
Edvard. I'm delighted to see you. And I'll tell you why, Edvard. It's because I've always thought that this silly feud between us... There's a lot of silly nonsense. I always thought, why couldn't we combine brain power for the good of Volisport? At this, he sort of pulls open the blinds and gestures out. There's a commanding view in this office over the river. But I see my wish is granted today, Edvard, because it appears, if indeed I'm not deceived, that you have finally accepted that to work for me would be the highest calling of any inventor in Volisport.
Yes, old man, I say. As you may or may not be aware, I sort of ran through all the family funds, funding my various inventions, and so I am in need of gainful employment, and I thought to myself, you know what? That Astor... That's what I thought to myself. I thought to myself, that Astor, you've had your differences in the past, but you can't deny that the man is successful. And so I thought I'd come down here and get a measure of this place for myself. I was hoping not to run into you. It's rather embarrassing having to come here cap in hand, but now that you have come across me here, there's no sense in hiding my true intentions anymore. I was rather hoping to get a look at this marvellous place. Perhaps you could give me a tour. I'd love to see what you've got going on here.
I'm delighted that you have seen the light. You know, the differences between us, I always thought silly. Philosophical.
Absolutely. Foolish pride.
Foolish pride. Your problem, Edvard, is that you always took things a little too seriously. You were,
what even is the theft of ideas that you've worked on and bankrupted yourself trying to get to market? I mean, in the long run, what does it really matter? As long as the people are out there enjoying the inventions. I mean, that's what we're really in it for, isn't it? We're for the betterment of humanity.
It was only ever purely business, and I'm sorry that you in the past had this bee in your bonnet about intellectual property. The truth is that all great artists steal. Yeah. Isn't that true, Edvard? Isn't that what they say?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes, I tell you what. Why don't we give you the tour? Introduce you to some of the other heads of departments.
Gosh, I'd love it to see.
Yes, why
what
not?
You've built here.
He stands as if to walk to the door, and it just has his hand on the handle, and then he just turns back and says, "It's funny I should see you here, Edvard. This isn't the first time recently that your name has been brought to my attention."
Oh?
Yes, a rather nasty bit of business at Cabcon. I don't know if you heard. We had a malfunction.
read about it in the paper. One of your inventions burst into flames.
Yes, you were there that day, weren't you?
At Cabcon?
Yes.
Don't think so.
Edvard.
But can you prove I was at Cabcon, Amadeus? Don't think you can.
I think I can. In fact, why don't you come with me to meet the man who I think, can prove it. And he shows you out the door, Edvard. Outside the door, there is another security guard waiting. Probably Astor walks everywhere with one, a sort of personal security detail. And he says, "Just this way, Edvard," and walks you down the corridor. Still on this floor.
So I'm still only on floor 1.
Yes, you are. Yeah, you still haven't moved floor. In fact, no. Let's say he takes you further into the bowels of the. Let's say he takes you up to the security floor, for instance. That would make sense because where he is leading you is to the office. You quickly surmise of his personal private investigator. And as he opens the door to this office, Edvard, you recognise the man who's sat down across from this desk. It's the very same gentleman who was with you in the bar when you met Wester, who was peeking over his newspaper. Astor says, "Edvard, let me leave you with my man, Roth. Mr. Helker here, well, he handles some of the business that I don't always have the time or the inclination to get involved with personally. Frankly, sometimes it's a dirty business. Security, privacy, these are things I value. The integrity of my ideas. Mr. Roth helps me enforce these things. I hope we meet again soon, Edvard." And,
Me too. I smile in a way that conveys limitless rage.
Yeah, he closes the office door, and this fellow who you've already seen, who you now know is Roth, a sort of weaselly fellow in a kind of brown suit that's kind of quite tattered and a bow tie that's a little loose, walks around you and just walks to the door behind you, Edvard, and just locks the door. And at that point, why don't we jump back to Zilla?
Yeah, I'm choking out guard number 1 with my thighs.
Yes. Yeah, you know what? Just because that was so funny and so off the cuff. Yes. Okay. Yes. You're in a flooding bathroom.
Is full of water and broken ceramic.
Flooding bathroom, broken ceramic.
One guy's out cold from having had his face smashed on a sink.
Yeah.
And the other one is just entering into unconsciousness because of the thigh choking. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. What now?
Well, this room is done. So I look around for a cleaning closet. You know, like in a public bathroom, and you have like a cleaning closet.
Yeah, sure. There's it's a cupboard more than a closet, but yeah. There's
quite small.
You open it. Well, there's a mop and a broom. You might fit these two. You might fit these two in if you really stuff them in uncomfortably.
You know what? I don't have time. I take out one of those slippery floor, do not enter kind of like yellow signs.
Oh yeah, there's one of those in the cupboard.
Yeah. And I just leave it in front of the bathroom door.
Yep. Cool. Okay. Yep. No worries. So you're heading back out into the corridor.
Yeah. All right. I close the door. I take a second. Just like, that was a thing. Yeah. And then I put the sign down. Yeah.
As you put the sign down, you hear a door closing from further up the corridor, and you see, my goodness, who is it? It's only Amadeus Astor. He's walking out of the room you just saw him come into with a security person. He's not looking at you, Zilla. Neither of them are. They're intently in conversation with each other. You overhear Astor say something along the lines of, Helker will get it out of him, and that'll be the end, and finally I can rid myself of a long-running nuisance. Today is a good day.
Wow.
Yeah. Wow. So they're just having this little tete-a-tete, having left this room, but they are about to turn your way. And
I pop the collar on my lab coat, like that'll help.
Cool.
And quickly turn on one heel and walk in the other direction, back towards the stairway. All right, and then I jog up the stairway.
Yep, that's fine.
Because I know that I need to get to the security floor.
Mm-hmm. You're on the security floor now. Where
the lock blueprints are going to be.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know where my colleague Edvard is.
No.
But yeah, I don't know where he is. But I make my way onto the security floor.
You can probably, for what it's worth, it would be a striking coincidence on this day that you try and do an incursion into the Amadeus Astor place to see the man himself leaving a building mentioning...
I assume that he's talking about Edvard. I just don't know where Edvard is. I assume he's being tortured horribly somewhere, but there's just nothing I can do about it right now.
Yeah, sure. Okay, so we're up on the...
I feel dreadful about it, but it's beyond my power. Yeah.
Viewer, she feels terrible.
I feel terrible about it. I might as well stay on target.
Yeah, cool.
I know he would want me to continue and complete our mission.
Yeah, cool.
That's what he'd be saying right now.
All right. Mm-hmm. 6th floor.
Okay, I'm on the 6th floor.
Yeah.
5th
Looking
floor?
out onto the corridor,
Anyway,
you
the
don't...
security floor, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, I guess the layout is similar.
Layout
which room
and
it's in.
similar, and you've seen
Three
this on...
rooms. Three rooms, yeah, exactly.
Yep.
So I head for the research and development
Yeah.
chamber.
Well, you know which door
And-
you're heading for, yeah.
I do. I hover around that door and see if I can hear anything from within.
You can hear humming.
Okay, not like musical humming, like mechanical humming.
No, kind of like, well, I wouldn't call it musical, but you can hear a...
Oh, okay. Organic humming. Okay. All right. Well, anyone who hums on the regs, I reckon I can take in a fight. I think.
That's a great rule of thumb.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I just walk in my
Yeah.
lab coat.
Cool.
See what's what.
You walk in the lab coat. There is another woman in a lab coat. She's got a clipboard and she's got papers spread out over this desk. I think you didn't come in very sneaky, did you? I think she turns
No.
around and looks at you and says, "Oh, hello.
Hi.
Are you lost? Can I help you? I haven't seen you before."
No, I'm new. It's my first day.
Right. I see.
It's my first day. Hi.
Hi.
They told me to come to the research and development department in the security wing, right?
Yes.
That's what
Well, I mean, this is all we have here is archives. I suspect you want the next door over if it's if you're a new
Oh no, I'm
inventor.
the new archivist. I'm an archivist.
Ah, help at last. My budget request must have gone through. Pleasure to meet you. My name's Alice. And she goes for a handshake.
Hi, Alice. I give her a hearty, firm handshake. All right. Well, archiving's what I love, and it's what I'm here to do. So,
Well, if you
point me
could
at
start,
the archives.
if you could start on these boxes, they recently took a tumble, and everything in here is going to need to be alphabetized.
Well, if there's one thing I know, it's the alphabet, Alice. So
That's great. A for alphabet.
Alice.
A for Alice.
Ace.
I'm sorry. I don't socialise much. But it's
oh,
well, yes. Start on this box, and when you've finished, I'll move you on to the AM through AP.
now you're
box.
talking. Okay. Can't wait to get started.
Well, there it is.
All right. I kind of shuffle over to the box of A's.
Yep. It's a big metal box
Okay.
full of folders, kind of
Sweet.
racked up. Yeah.
All right. Is Alice going about her business? Getting back to work? What's she
Yeah.
doing?
Yeah, she's just stood next to you now. Starts humming again. Oh, sorry. Do tell me if that's annoying. I'll stop.
No, I love it. Louder, if anything. It's good. What a great tune, Alice. I love it. Okay, I like Alice very much, and I hope I don't have to choke her out with my thighs.
I'm sorry?
So, nothing. How far away is the D filing cabinet, as it were? Is it a filing cabinet?
I'll tell you what you have here is in this room there are many shelves, all full of boxes like the one you're looking
Got
at
it.
now.
Got it.
And they are arranged alphabetically. So there is an A crate, a B crate, a C crate,
Okay.
and so on in the alphabetical style.
Yes.
You've been told to alphabetize the A crate, which is out off the shelf and on this big table, where Alice is also going about her work.
Okay, cool. Well, with her back to me, I go over to the D crate and bring it down, pop it on the table next to the A crate.
Okay, make me a roll for this if you're trying to do it without her.
Well,
seeing.
how much attention is she paying? Is she supervising me?
I mean, she's not supervising you, but you've been asked
Okay,
to alphabetize
Okay.
everything inside this A crate. and
Okay,
now
no,
you've-
I got this. That's fine. Okay, right. So I guess this is a prowl.
Maybe prowl, maybe finesse.
I mean, again, I have no dots in either, but for academic sake, let's call it a prowl because
You could
it's
push
sorted.
yourself, but you would be traumatized. Is that right?
I do not want to be traumatized because of archiving because I filed some.
Filing can be traumatic.
No. Okay, I'll just do it. Let's just do it. Be
do it.
legends. All right, I got 3.
Okay, cool. Yeah, you go over to the D crate, and start to pull it sneakily
Yeah.
off, and it just overbalances and just tips all
Oh
over the
no!
floor.
Oh,
Papers
Alice.
spill out.
Oh, what
Oh,
a
my-
first day!
What happened
Oh.
here?
Well,
Why?
Alice,
Why on earth were you?
I'm glad you asked, Alice. There was a D file in the A crate, so I was
Right.
taking down the D crate so I could correctly file and archive the D file in the D crate, and I overbalanced, and just D files everywhere.
This is a real mess.
Oh,
Gosh,
what
look
a-
at. Oh no. Zilla, don't you? It's only your first day. I'm gonna go get Peter to help us.
Yay.
In
Okay.
fact, he's just in the next. I'll just call him. She goes over to a little electronic box that's kind of on the thing.
Oh, Alice! I choke Alice unconscious.
Okay, roll me for that as well. Poor Alice.
Poor Alice, I liked her. Oh, okay, I choke her unconscious with my thighs, and it is a 4. Yeah.
A 4. Okay,
4.
yeah. Yeah. Okay. You choke Alice out with your thighs.
No, that doesn't make any sense. Like, she's standing, I'm standing.
You could
I
jump
just-
into
I
a
s-
Hurricane Rhino position.
I slide my bicep under her chin and gently
And just
but
flex
firmly,
once.
and just do a nice big flex without bruising or otherwise damaging her windpipe. I
You do
choke her
successfully
unconscious.
choke her out, but that was a 4 you got, right?
Yes,
so
it
there's
was
a
a 4.
complication in there. As
correct.
you get to Alice nearly in time, but she presses the buzzer like that,
Yeah.
and as you're choking her out, a voice comes over this kind of intercom like, hello?
Hi, this is Alice.
Is that-
Just checking. This is just a test. Checking
Alice?
the buzzer. Yeah.
Why'd you ring me? What's going on?
I was checking the buzzer's still working. It sounded weird earlier. It made people's voices sound like other people's voices. Do I
Christ,
sound like me?
Alice.
Yeah. What? I get very lonely here, Peter. It's very lonely here in the archives. It's just me, Alice. I'm Alice. And I get very lonely, and sometimes I need to talk to you, Peter.
Alice, I don't know how many times I have to tell you, I don't want to go out with you.
Well, think on it, Peter. I'll try again tomorrow.
God, all right. Look, I'm coming up. Something's not right.
No,
I'm
no,
coming
no,
up.
no.
I'm coming up. I'll
Just
be there in
think
a
about
minute.
it. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, Peter. Oh, I'll be sorry to choke you out.
Maybe he does want to
eventually.
go out. Maybe he does want to go out with Alice, actually. Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
All right, fine. Well, I run over to the contents of the D crate that
Yep.
has spilled everywhere, and I hurriedly start looking for a file that reads Dimmer Mansion.
Dimmer. Yeah. Mansion, comma, dimmer. Cool. While that's happening, let's cut back to Edvard. Okay, you're sat in this room, Edvard, and Roth Helka sort of stalks back in front of you. He goes to his shelves and he's Lumiere, yes. And he
What's this about, Roth?
Lumiere, yes. Graduated with honours. Very good.
Yeah, it is very good.
Good.
It's hard to get honest.
Determined to make it as an inventor, but
Already have done,
didn't
mate.
have very much success.
Had lots of success.
Burned through
actually.
the family money, and well, you're here's interesting. I have a detailed file on you, Mr. Edvard, up until a few weeks ago, where well, there's just a big blank space and a question mark. Except I know that you were at Capcom.
Do you mind if I smoke, Roth? I say. I produce a cigarette case from my pocket. Do you mind if I smoke?
Feel free, Mr. Edvard. Feel free.
I open the case. I'm going to tick off a box of load for this. And while it looks like a cigarette case, what it actually contains is a modular blowpipe. With a little bit of leisure demand, making it look like I'm removing a cigarette, I screw the two halves of the blowpipe together, raise it to my lips, and then just going to pop a little dart right into Roth's neck. It's a sleeping alchemical preparation.
Lovely. Yeah. Roll. I think you'd better make me a roll for this.
Okay. So I guess this would be finesse, right? Trying to hit him with
could be.
Trying to hit him with a blowpipe.
Feels about right to me.
All right, let's
Could be
go.
finesse. Could be tinker.
No, that is a 5 and a 2.
Okay. Well, no worries. We take the 5. You do manage this. Funk. Sort of hits Roth in the neck just as he's continuing to go through your file. He's not even looking in your direction. He's sort of reading through. Makes me wonder, Edvard, what exactly is it you've been... Ow. Oh. God.
I'd like to walk up towards him to grab him as he falls so he doesn't make a noise.
Cool. You do manage to stop him from making a noise as he falls, but he hits his head pretty nastily on the table as he got on the corner of the table, donk like that.
Well,
he's unconscious and blood is kind of pooling underneath him.
Well, shouldn't have worked for Astor. I say.
Now that he's unconscious, Edvard, you for the first time get to have a proper look at the room you're in. This is a private investigator's office. There are notes, folders all over the place. You can have a rifle through if you want. Or
I would
you
like
can
to.
just
There could be
book it out of here ASAP.
There could be some useful information in here. I don't have time to go through everything, but I just like a top line skim of the files to see if anything jumps out at me. It's particularly useful.
Cool. Yeah, maybe I'll tell you what. Make me roll just to see how much you get.
Okay, I'm gonna roll a study.
Cool.
6.
6. Wow. Okay. Yeah. With incredible speed, you manage to surmise this stuff. Adrenaline is coursing through Edvard's body, I imagine. This room is full of evidence that Roth Helka has collected, both on Astor's enemies, but in fact, mainly. He's clearly been tasked with monitoring and stealing the ideas of every young inventor in Volisport. With a wry look, Edvard, you realise that Astor has even industrialised the theft of ideas. Is there no end to his depravity? As you go through these, papers, you see that a promising young graduate has cooked up a system of pipes for transporting hot water throughout the walls and floors of a house. There's something here about a chemical process for treating natural rubber to make it hard enough to withstand being attached to a wheel. There's what looks like a blueprint for a rotund pail with a metal cover that could make it possible to produce an ice cream at home, and letters written by an explorer written home to his wife that have somehow been intercepted by Roth that describe a chemical element that when combined with steel prevents rusting. Actually, this one's clearly been across Astor's desk because he's written rubbish in big sort of red ink under that, and it'll never work. A.A. There is a lot of physical evidence here of intellectual property theft. That's what you're looking at.
All right, well, I'll have that then. Okay, so I'd like to just stow this damning evidence. And also, he should be unconscious for a while with the sleeping draft that I gave him, so can I get the key to the room? Goes through his pockets, grab that?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to leave the room and lock it and keep the key.
Cool.
So even if he does come to, he won't be able to get out. And then I'm going to go upstairs.
All right. When you get upstairs, you are also following the map. You can hear that Wester gave you. You can hear in the other doors, through the. You can hear that there are people like working and doing things, but you do manage to slip through these corridors and up the stairs when no one is around. That doesn't sound too difficult, especially because.
Yeah.
Well, we've already done that for Zilla, so it'd be boring to roll that again. Yeah, and you are presumably heading into the same door.
Yes.
You find Zilla and an unconscious Alice, and Zilla is frantically going through papers.
Oh, hi! You made it.
Hi.
What's going on? Yeah. Okay.
Zilla is also soaking wet and covered in blood.
Right. Gosh, you look like you've had quite the afternoon. I say.
Yeah, I've been busy. Help me find the dimmer file. It's
okay.
here somewhere.
I'm gonna look.
I've got blood on a lot of it.
I'm gonna look for the dimmer file too.
Okay. All right.
You find it after a little while. It is a large piece of architect paper.
Yeah.
It's got like a big circle on it that is clearly a vault door. It's unbelievably intricate. You're going to need to study this a bit more carefully, Edvard. But this is what you were after. This is what you were looking for.
Instead of stealing this, would it be possible? Is there some paper here I can make a copy of the diagram so we don't take it and tip them off in advance as to what's going to happen?
Very bloody smart. Yes, of course. There's paper, pens here. Yeah.
I barricade the door to buy us time.
Barricade the door. I'm going to make a copy of this document.
All right. I tip a filing cabinet in front of the door, and then
Nice.
another one on top of that.
Because this is going to take quite a long time because it is a detailed drawing, obviously. Zilla, part way through this, the door just does kind of shift, doesn't move, obviously, because you barricaded it, and you just hear a, Alice?
Peter, I want to be alone. Leave me alone, Peter.
Alice,
Too late, Peter.
I'm sorry about what I said.
No, it's too late. We can
Alice.
never be. I've barricaded myself in the archive. I want to be alone.
All right. Okay, Alice, but if you ever, well, look, the thing is, Alice, I haven't known how to say it before, but I'm not made of stone. Of course I have feelings for you. I thought for so long that you didn't feel the same way, and
Get rid of him,
then
Zilla.
you were with Benny, and by the time just... Is this our fate, Alice? To just be ships passing in the night?
I don't know, Peter. I hope not. Benny, he sucked. He was bad. He's out of the picture. But I want to be alone right now. I've got a lot to think about.
I'll go, Alice, if you will just tell me there's hope.
There's always hope, Peter. I just need to feel my feelings for a while. Alone in my archives. I love it here. It's the only place I really feel at home.
Take as long as you need, Alice, but not too long. We've
Okay.
waited long enough.
I stroke the door.
Yeah, you hear a kind of choked sniffle from the other side. Oh, and the sound of someone mastering their feelings, and then they
Wait for me, Peter.
yeah, you hear footsteps
Okay.
going off away.
All right.
Yeah,
Edvard!
Edvard, you finished
Got
your
it.
drawing now.
Bloody hurry up.
It's done. Right, put the dimmer file back where you found it, and let's get out of here.
Oh, I found it on the floor. I dropped it all on the floor. Alice was This is Alice. This is Alice. I point at the unconscious woman.
Oh dear.
She saw my face.
Right. Yeah, that's a problem.
Don't you have some sort of forgetting ray? Isn't that a thing?
I mean,
What have you got? What have you got in your bag of tricks?
if we put the mind-reading hat on her, if we turn it up high enough, it might erase some of her memory. It's not been tested.
I thought it was just maybe a hat.
No, it really does stuff to your brain.
Oh,
No, it really does stuff to your brain.
Yeah, it really does. I mean,
It's just that thing isn't necessarily communicate your thoughts.
Yeah.
Thoughts of others.
but
I don't want to
perhaps
scramble her brains, Edvard.
Perhaps it's an amazing memory loss hat instead. Certainly couldn't get it to work with the mind reading, so who knows? That's the great
No, I
thing about
can't.
inventions. If they're not one thing, they can be something else.
I can't do that to Alice, Edvard. I need to know how her
sure?
and Peter play out. Yeah. I don't want to scramble her brains.
Maybe
I'm just
she'll
gonna
forget
have to
that she doesn't like Peter, and then this new Peter.
She might like Peter. We don't know. This is why I
we
have
won't
to
know
get a job.
unless we erase her memory.
Zilla's hashtag Team Palace.
Look, I'm just saying. I've interfered enough, and now we've just got to let the course let this thing run.
All right.
Cool.
Well, okay. So you just want to leave the room like this?
I think we should go out the window.
Okay. Well, we're 5 stories up. I do have some.
What have you got in your bag of magic inventions?
Well, I've got some climbing gear, but I
There you
mean,
go.
I survey out the window. Does it go out onto a busy street? Is it an alleyway? What are we looking at out of this window?
Out of this window, so Astor had this building. He chose this site specifically for the headquarters because on the side that you entered, there's the street, and then on the other side, it's built onto a cliff that looks out over the river, which means that it's basically impossible to get into the building to sort of scale it from the other side. So for increased security, it's basically on the corner of where a river meets a canal. So what you're looking out of this window is a long drop down to the river.
Okay. I mean, I don't think we can climb down here, Zilla. It's a pretty massive drop, and then there's a river at the bottom.
Why don't we flash back
Cool.
and we're on a remote cliff just outside of Vollisport, and
Okay.
I am training Edvard how to swan dive
Okay. Yeah.
perfectly
All right.
from an Olympic height style diving board, but off a cliff.
Sure.
Okay.
Okay.
That's what we're doing. We're training ourselves to swan dive because we knew that we'd end up at the top of this building and probably need a quick way out.
Okay.
So we learned how to swan dive. It was great. We had a fun time. We really grew our
let's-
friendship.
I tell you
Yeah.
what, Edvard, let's not make this your responsibility. Zilla, why don't you roll me, and this will be to find out how good your instruction was.
Okay. Yeah. Command.
Yeah.
Command.
I
I'm
can-
very commanding.
I can imagine it being command as well.
Gonna
Yeah.
dive better. Dive now. Dive
Yeah.
good. Okay. Well, I've got a dot in command. So All right. It's a 6.
Hey!
A 6.
Yeah.
All right,
I'm
brilliant.
the best
Yeah. Cool.
diving instructing.
Say no stress for that flashback. Not least because Zilla, I know you can barely
I'm so
stand
stressed
it.
already.
But that actually does. Afternoon's diving instructions. You've had a few days to plan this. Yeah, that sounds reasonable. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
We made a
you
day
did
of
great.
it. We had a picnic. It was lovely.
Yeah, exactly. We had a lovely day out, and
You
Edvard,
made a day of it.
although puny, he is
Puny.
he's agile.
I
and
do
can
my
dive.
calisthenics every morning. I rise and I
Live.
do various isometric exercises.
And that's why he's so good at diving, because of all the calisthenics and old timey those like medicine ball exercises.
Yeah. Absolutely. This lesson happened with Edvard wearing black and white stripy Victorian bathing woolens. Or
Yes.
something. Yeah.
Wiry.
Okay. Yeah.
Wiry.
Yeah. Okay.
Cool.
Surprisingly
Okay.
strong.
So you're facing out over this river, long way
Yeah.
up.
Yep.
All right, Zilla, just like you said,
Just like I said.
I say. So I just cross the arms
Yep.
and
Straight as arrow.
Yep.
Straight
Feet-
as an arrow.
feet
Head
together,
first.
hold my
Feet
breath.
together. Yep.
and then just
Don't dive.
just
Yeah. Don't open
yep.
your mouth. on the way.
pucker up down there, and then
Yeah.
Yeah,
seal
That's
all the
lesson one.
Seal all the exits.
Yeah.
And then jump.
seal all the
There you
exits
go.
and then jump. Right.
Yeah, that's the one.
All right,
Okay.
count us in.
All right. 3, 2, 1, dive.
Hup.
Yep. On the way down, you're looking down. You see the floors of the building kind of. Then it turns to like rock as you sort of fall down the cliff portion, and then all of a sudden, everything
Okay,
goes
hit the
dark.
water, and then I spread out all my limbs underwater to slow my
And
descent
then you kick
underwater.
your way back up to the surface.
Yep, you are in the middle of the river now. And you are thankful that you found some way of waterproofing all the paper
yeah.
documents that you
It's
took out of
definitely
that building.
sealed in a wax.
Yeah.
Oh,
An
something.
architect's tube. There would have been.
Oilskin.
Yeah,
there would have been
wax
plenty of them.
paper, you know.
Yeah. Fantastic. Well, I don't think they can catch you now, so I think we better call the score there.
Yeah.
Great, amazing
We
work.
swim to shore, shake ourselves off like dogs, and then
Fantastic.
bedraggled head back to the city.
Right, so you've still got a wanted level of 0, which means no entanglement. We don't have to worry about entanglements again, but heat. The crew takes heat. Add 1 heat for a high-profile or well-connected target. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Add +1 heat if the situation happened on hostile turf. I don't think it did, really.
Agreed.
I think you're hostile with the... I mean, Edvard is hostile, but I don't think the crew is officially hostile with Astor interventions. 1 heat if you're at war. No. Add +2 heat if killing was involved. It was not. There were some complications for sure. You left... Roth will know what was going on, and you didn't want to scramble Alice's brains, which was commendable, but that is going to add to heat as well, so that is going to be 3 heat from this, which...
Sorry,
ooh,
everybody. It's all our problems now.
that takes you to, as the crew, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 out of 9 heat.
Ooh.
How exciting.
Yikes.
How exciting.
How do we reduce heat?
Well, you can do it as a downtime action, so you can attempt to
Okay.
do some of it now if you want. When your heat ticks all the way up, you gain 1 wanted level, and when you've got a wanted level, you get extra entanglements after a score.
Yeah,
I think I'd better try and
trouble
reduce
with
some
other
heat
gangs.
because probably Barnaby will be involved in some way in the next.
I need to reduce my stress, so I'm off to a secret gritty underground fight club.
Cool. Okay, so you're
to-
indulging
I'm
your
indulging
vice.
in my passion for fighting.
So
yes,
roll dice equal to your lowest attribute.
which is none. Yeah.
Which one do you have none in?
Oh right, yes, I see. I remember.
there are
No, I haven't got any with none in. Resolve
Yeah.
is my lowest attribute. Yeah,
Resolve. Okay.
Yeah.
Roll
1 dice basically.
roll
Yeah.
1 dice there.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's a 5.
Cool. Wow, nice one. Clear stress equal to that. So yeah,
Oh sweet, so I'm down to
That's fine.
3 stress
Down to 3.
because yeah,
beautifully done. Well
I
done.
beat someone to a pulp until it makes me less stressed.
Oh, that sounds nice.
But it's okay because they wanted to be at the fight club. So.
So Edvard, you want to reduce heat, is that
I would
right?
love to. Yes, please.
So the way that this works mechanically is you basically have to come up with what you are doing in the world that will, in practical terms, reduce the heat on the
Right.
crew. and then you roll for it, and based on your roll, we reduce some heat.
Okay, I would like to start spreading rumours that Astor has been cursed, and that's why a lot of bad luck has been happening to him recently. Some people have been saying that he's been targeted by a criminal gang, but I think a lot more likely, I mean, considering the sort of stuff that he's into, none of my business, but I think probably he's cursed.
Volasport folks are a superstitious lot. I think that rumour is probably likely to take. So what would you roll for that, for this rumour spreading?
Consort.
Consort, yeah, sounds fine.
Yeah. All right, I'm rolling consort. That's a 4.
4, okay. That is 2. Wow, 2 heat cleared. Nice
Great.
one. I'll mark those off right now. So that brings you back down to 6. Great work. So you both have one more downtime action. If you want to do anything else, do you want to know what long-term things you've got going on? Long-term projects?
I'm going to try and reduce a bit of stress as well.
Okay, Edvard, so roll me your weakest attribute and we'll see how much stress you manage to.
Resolve is my weakest attribute. I've just got a dot.
How do you do it, by the way? How do you reduce stress?
What's
your vice that you're
my
indulging?
vice is weird.
Okay.
And yeah.
Say no more.
No, I'm into the intersection of science and the supernatural.
Sure.
So I will be spending time attending seances, trying to transmute lead into gold, various things that border on magic and have no basis in scientific reality. That's my
Awesome.
my vacation.
Okay, that sounds great. Maybe that roll.
It's a 5.
Cool, so that takes you down to 1 stress, I think. Is
Great.
that right?
Yeah, 1 stress.
Amazing. Very tidy, very tidy. Cool.
Do I get another downtime action, right?
You get another, yeah.
I'd like to treat my twisted shoulder because it hurts.
We're into some healing. Okay, cool. Oh, well, I mean, let me just throw this out there. In the last adventure we did, Casimir and Lilith started a long-term project to recruit a better doctor for the gang, which would give you improved odds when you make those healing rolls.
Ah.
They filled 1 of the 6 pieces.
Okay.
But if you try and do a bit more research into that, you won't be doing any healing now, and you did get hurt, so it's up to you.
Okay, right. So I have 2 level 1 harms at the moment.
Okay, yeah.
What does that amount to? Like, what does that mean?
It means that if you take level 1 harm again, so if something
Yes.
minor happens to you, like just being exhausted or something,
Yes.
it turns into level 2 harm.
Right.
Level 1 harm you have next time you heal will clear.
Okay, well, I think 2 level 1 harms, yeah, I think it's probably worth the short-term investment of fixing my shoulder. So I go
Cool.
to someone who can pop it back in or something.
Yep, no worries. Yeah, you've already got 1 bit filled in your healing
I
clock,
do
is that right?
naturally have 1 bit filled in a healing clock.
Well, you would normally roll 1 because you have like a basic quality healer that the gang.
Oh yeah, we don't have a doctor.
Sort
Okay.
of visits. You don't really have a doctor, but you can
Yes.
add an extra 1.
Plus 1d. So an extra dice. So a 2 dice roll. 5 and a 1.
5 and a 1. Okay, so the 1 will get you 1 segment, and the 5 will get you 2 segments for a
Wow.
total of
4 segments.
4 segments. So yeah,
So I'm healed. Oh
Brilliant,
yeah,
you're
nice.
healed.
Oh, that feels much better. Yeah.
Excellent.
Oh yeah.
your level
Back
1
in
harms
business. Nice.
melt away. Well done, folks. That was brilliant. That was loads of fun. Can't believe we met Amadeus Astor and went inside his evil base.
Stupid place of idiot inventions.
Great work. Great role playing. Check back next time in 2 weeks for more Blades in the Dark.
And also a podcast to
Yes.
yesterday went up.
Where can people find the Oxventure podcast, Jane?
The Oxventure podcast is a Dungeons and Dragons podcast, but also sometimes we talk about Blades in the Dark, and it is available everywhere you get podcasts, like Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, Spotify. Just search for
Yeah.
Oxventure.
Funk
Oxventure.
Crow.
We're the only people that use the word Oxventure, so you'll
Yeah.
find it easy.
Thanks, everyone. Like and subscribe, etc., etc. Have a great time. Stay safe out there. See you next time. Goodbye.
Oxventure Blades in the Dark merch is available now. Catch Volasport's newest and most notorious gang of thieves red-handed in an all-new scene. Nab this stunning piece of Oxventure art on a t-shirt or as a poster. Then declare your allegiance for Edvard's hated rival, the ruthless industrialist Amadeus Astor, with an Astor Interventions pin. Just don't let Edvard see you wearing it, or we'll never hear the end of it. Add these precious pieces to your collection by going to store.outsidextra.com.